I'm afraid of making mistake, and it makes me like don't want to do like anything.
Sometimes mistakes happen because we only human. We cannot like be 100% correct. If I would choose between the two people, one never make mistake and one make mistake and they do something, I will always choose the one who make mistake because at least they do something, they learn something.
For increasing traffic and sales, what do you think are the core values to make like these things happen?
In terms of traffic, I think it's really coming from the brand desirability. People love the brand, they know the brand, they want to be engaged with the brand, and that's where they're coming. But one thing that I want to encourage you, because sometimes the situation can be different, is to always think out of the box. Is there anything you want to tell our generation, my generation?
Sometimes I don't understand them at all. Like why did they do like this?
Like what, for example?
So I feel like I become a student again.
Preaching you all the time.
You're listening to Bangkok Post's Mind the Gap podcast. Let's connect, converse, and create possibilities.
Hello, my name is Wattasri, Pattamasing, Ayudthaya. I'm a managing director for Vuitton, Thailand and Vietnam.
Hello, my name is Suthapit Thawatchainun of Prayer. Right now, I'm currently working as a marketing in one of the French cosmetic brand in Thailand. Okay, so right now I'm working in the beauty industry, and I'm quite curious about like your work experiences. Like, could you tell me about or share something about your work?
Of course, I actually used to work in beauty industry as well. So I work with L'Oreal Group. I also work with Estee Lauder Group, and that is a stepping stone for me to be working for luxury fashion right now. Yeah.
So, as you are the MD of Louis Vuitton in Thailand and Vietnam, so could you tell me about like the differences between like two countries?
Mainly, it's about the cultural aspects of people in terms of works and products. We offer the same thing, but of course, people with different countries appreciate beauty in a different way, and they have a work culture that's also different. So basically, even within Vietnam, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, they are quite different as well. One is more fast-paced, one is more cultural and slower paced. So I think for us as a foreigner to go to work in the other country, we have to respect their culture as well. So maybe I ask you why you joined beauty business. What interests you in this industry?
So I think it because of my journey during my university. So I'm kind of open-minded for every opportunity that comes to me. So one day I got selected to have an internship in one of the very famous cosmetic brand. So I really like the culture of like girlies and addicted to like the products. I think this is kind of beginning point for me that interested in beauty. I have been improving my skills a lot while I was having internship there. I was seeking a new opportunity that continue my work in another beauty industry.
But so far so good?
Yeah, I think so. So as I'm a Gen Z or this first jobber, so I want to know about like your core work philosophy that you have always followed.
Okay, so for me, I have mainly three things. First of all is always be true to yourself, because that is really important. You have to know who you are, because it will be good if you know who you are, then you can excel better in your job. And of course, because you be true to yourself, you also have to respect the other who also be true to themselves as well. And with this understanding between the two people working together, it will work, right? And secondly, I think in any job that I have been doing, I always want to make a difference or be sure that I can have an impact in the role that I'm in. Meaning that I always look at the big picture, like what can I do to improve the situation? How can I do that it will be better for the organization and the people that I work with. Naturally, one of my motivation is really to make a difference to the people that work around me, that they have a better life or they learn or they grow. And I'm really enjoying seeing that. And third one is about integrity. And as a leader, it's really important to walk your talk. So whatever you say to your team, make sure that, you really deliver that and have integrity, because fairness among the team, because it's really important to create the collaboration among the team, and definitely people will see you as a role model. So I think it's really important. Do you feel the same? What's yours?
Yeah, I feel the same way. So I really appreciate your philosophy. But however, when I'm working, I face some situation that sometimes it's quite hard for the leader or for like in the high level to manage like these things together, like between the business direction and the team management? Like how can you build a team to achieve like the goals of business together?
I think if you're talking about business vision, direction, and comparing with team management, right? For me, it's actually chicken and egg question because it's so intertwined between the two. You cannot really separate between them. You need a vision for the business, but at the same time, this vision is not going to realize by itself. You need people to really make it happen. So I think they work closely. So once you know what the business needs, you probably have to hire the right people. Or if you have the team already, you have to make sure that they really understand the business direction. Because sometimes I notice people sometimes they want to do things for you, but they don't know why. So sometimes I think explanation of why is really important to them. If they understand why we have to do this for what, then they probably do. And then sometimes there will be a how, because some people, they might not sure they want to do, they're willing to do, but how? So this is the thing that you have to constantly ask yourself, ask your manager, and make sure that all the stakeholders really understand. And the other thing that I think is important apart from communication is empowerment. The manager cannot do everything by themselves. You cannot be a solo, successful person. Then you need to empower your team. If they are really in charge of what they're doing and they feel that they are part of the success, I think they will want to do more in the way.
Okay. Yeah. So I have another following question.
Yes, please.
We already know like leader cannot handle like everything like themselves, right? How you're not like gonna be picky or detailed with like everyone?
I think this is depend on the character of leader, but I think leader itself shouldn't be like picking the details because you have a lot of things you have to think big and do other stuff. How to trust the team, right? First of all, I think for me, I really believe that we have to give room for mistakes. Doesn't mean that when you do a mistake, it's we don't discuss about it or we hide it or don't have the daring to talk to the team. If we assign something and in my heart I feel that okay, this is probably good to have the team to learn from their own mistake, and if it happens, we learn from it. And I think that is kind of trust as well in the way. I don't know. I'm not a person who is really wanted to be micromanaged because I have a million things on my table, right? So I think the team, when they have trust and when they can do things, they should be able to come back and update the progress and all this. You facing that situation where it's okay.
Yeah.
And have you ever pushed back?
I think every company have team assessment or evaluation, so we just give a feedback.
Okay. So I think if someone try to micromanage you and you feel uncomfortable, my advice is to tell them that, okay, tell me the timeline, tell me what would you expect to receive, and then let's see when the timeline comes. Right. You can always push back. Just because they are older than you doesn't mean that you can't really say what you feel.
So when you talk about like the mistake, right? When I was studying, I do not care much about like what I'm going to do it wrong. Don't care much about my mistake. But when I jumped into the working life, so I just like realized that my mistake affect a lot in every people. So I'm afraid of making mistake, and it makes me like don't want to do like anything, don't have like any energy.
Well, I think when you have a plan, right, you want to achieve something or do something, you always start with good intention. Definitely. For me, if it comes to the place that you say, I would think of, okay, what's the plan to do this? And then you think of the consequence of each thing that you do. And if you think it's well covered, then you don't have to worry. Sometimes mistakes happen because we're only human. We cannot like be 100% correct. I don't think anyone in this room can be that correct all the time. So you have to be easy with yourself as well. Don't push too much. As long as it's not integrity issue like stolen stuff and all that from the company, I think you have room to learn from it. I told my team that if I would choose between the two people, one never make mistake, which means that they never do anything. And one make mistake and they do something. I will always choose the one who make mistake. Because at least they do something, they learn something. So I think this you need to be easy with yourself and, not thinking too much.
Thank you.
In a way.
Jumping a little bit into the business and beauty. So like for increasing traffic and sales, what do you think are the core values to make like these things happen? And how do you make your team like achieve the goals together?
Basically, I think I can only talk in general because it's a recipe of each company. I cannot tell so much. But in terms of traffic, I think it's really coming from the brand desirability. So people love the brand, they know the brand, they want to be engaged with the brand, and that's where they're coming. And it will increase by the sales because you have good salesperson and all that in the store, right? But one thing that I want to encourage you, because sometimes the situation can be different, is to always think out of the box. For example, I'm not sure if you have been to LV The Place Bangkok, which we have the exhibition and we have also the restaurant and the cafe. This is also one part of example that we try to increase desirability and in terms of people to come to LV from different point of view. Not only coming to buy bags, but we also have exhibition that they love art, they immerse into our culture, or if they love food, they can come and eat our cake, have our coffee. So this is also the area that I think we push the boundaries, and this is the first concept store in the world happen in Bangkok. So I think you can think out of the box a little bit. And then for the team, when sometime that they really achieve something like open big project or do something that you think is impossible and they make it possible, I think it's really important to celebrate the milestone together. Because sometimes people forget to say thank you, people forget to appreciate one another, and I think this is really key to drive all the success together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So as a fresh graduate, so I sometimes I feel a little bit concerned and have some pressure for the work, maybe achieving KPIs or achieving sales goal. And do you have any advice on how to find happiness at work, or just you can share your mindset or solution that you did? Yeah, so I think it will be a benefit to us a lot.
Trust me, feeling stress is across all age group. So it's not because you are young and you feel stressed, but I think the key is how to handle the stress. That maybe when you're more seasoned, you get more experience, you handle it better. You asked me about how to find happiness at work. Actually, I want to say that don't do that, because actually happiness should come from within. We shouldn't go to the work and expect to find something, but it should be from you. You should ask yourself, know yourself, what are you good at? What would you like to do? What person you want to become? What is your worth? And that will give you happiness.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you go on seeking from your colleagues, it's impossible because they're also seeking, right? So you start with yourself. And for me, a little tip is that sometimes when stress comes to you, I take a breather, I take a break, have some breath, and every night almost, except the day that I'm too tired, I reflect myself on what I did that day. Because there will be some time that I did something that might be great that I can redo again. And there might be some time that I did something that is not great as a leader. So I have to take note and make sure that it won't happen again. And find yourself, because you can enjoy, life is full with ups and downs, right? So I think you just enjoy the ride and experience your life. Don't take it too seriously in that way, but at the same time, have your ownership of your own happiness. That's it,
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I have two questions as well, because people talking about generation gaps, and I want to see from your view, do you really believe in such gap in your company or in your life experience? How do you find generation Y and X?
Yeah, I found it in every places because we are new graduates. So every time I go to work in the new place, there will always generation gap. So what I learned from generation gap is to observing people and find the middle way to work with them. I think it's about communication.
And
but do you have any suggestion?
No. Actually, I'm really believe in being myself, being yourself. So for me, it's really open. But is there anything you want to tell our generation? I mean, my generation?
Yeah, but sometimes I don't understand them at all. Yeah, why did they do like this?
Like what, for example?
So I feel like I become a student again.
Oh, so they're preaching. They're just teaching you, preaching you all the time, right?
Maybe I expect to have some rooms to be myself, to own something, to handle with myself.
Then you tell them.
All right.
Yeah, you tell them that, okay, please, I need this, I need some space because this is how I do my work best. I think one of the reason that we have problem across the generation is we actually don't communicate.
Okay, yeah.
It's always like monologue from one generation, and then you don't talk back. So you talk to your friend, you should tell how you feel and
Okay.
ask for what you feel in a polite way.
Okay, and also the another thing is about work-life balance.
Yes.
So as a Gen Z, or personally, I really value work-life balance, but sometimes like maybe generation gap, like who's sent me a message or sending me emails about like work and they expect me to like reply them right away.
And it's outside work hour.
Yeah.
You can also tell them
Okay.
too. But if it's really important, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Or otherwise, don't answer. Another question for you, like, okay, because you are just graduated, the future is all ahead of you, right? What does success look like for you?
As of now, I see my success as I achieve goal something. For example, like from my work, I got opportunities to run a project by myself. So I did it since like analyzing data, collecting and executing the project. So I really like happy to see the results. So if the results like achieve the expectation or the forecast that I did, I can like tell it as my success. But if another thing that I describe as success is how people maybe like job title or increasing salary can be another way that guarantee that like it is my success because it's tangible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you expect it to happen? Do you have timeline? Because people always say that your generation, you want it so fast. Is it really true?
It's true because actually we do not like loyal for the company that much. So I think the career path is on my mind always. All the time. So for me, example, I have planned about my career path. So I want to stay with this position as customer relationship management specialist for 1 or 2 years if I fulfilled the skills. And I'm sure that I can do everything by myself. So maybe like I want to explore another opportunities that has a room for me to improve another skills. For maybe like team management or another level.
I totally understand. Maybe I'm your generation, I don't know. But sometimes you have to really think that if you really know everything. Sometimes we think we know, but sometimes we might not, right? And who say that because your title is this, doesn't mean a job description has to be by your title, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you always think of constantly trying to improve yourself.
It can begin now.
Yeah, you can do anything. I'm not trying to preach you or teach you, but I'm just
it is.
sharing. Just sharing. What else you want to share? Because Nong Ping say that you have something to share, right? About your family business.
Okay. So like actually my family is Chinese. We have our family business, which is car care. And actually like they expect me to like after graduation you should to help the family business. But in my opinion, I'm really like grateful that I didn't make that decision. So I went to work before and I knew the like many things that use case can be you adapt to my family business, but also like the study case that you should like avoid to do that. Do you have any like suggestion for me if I want to do like both things together, like between a work and also like helping family business?
But what stopped you now? I mean, is there anything that's stopping you from?
I think the time.
Then it's kind of difficult, right? If it's a timing issue. But I think if you really want to do anything, you can do it. That's for sure. But if you think now the time doesn't permit you, it's become difficult.
And do you have recommend age, like if you should work for around like 5 or 10 years?
Not really. I see a lot of
depends,
cases, right? Some people, they never really work in corporate and they're so successful on their own or with their family business. And some, they do the same, but they fail. So I think it's really depend on the person and what is your aim for the job that you want to do. But even if you want to go to work for your family business, I think your heart has to be there. You have to do something that's true to yourself as well, right? That you think you're happy to do it. You have to find a way.
Okay, so I'm thankful. Like I really appreciate so much for today. So thank you for giving these opportunities, and I really learned from you a lot.
Oh, thank you to you as well. I learned a lot from your generation as well, and it's so grateful to be together today. I think we should take some time to take photo together for our memories.
Yeah.
Don't just listen, be a part of the conversation. Join our podcast and let's grow together. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. See you in the next episode.